Hey, everybody, welcome to HabNormals. Have we got a show for you? I hope so. We are going to talk about our usual last week's games, next week's games, and our 3 stars of the week. But we're also going to discuss Cole Caufield and his recent streak of goal scoring. And it has him on pace for a lot of goals. We're going to talk about whether he can reach 40 or not. We are going to talk about whether Montreal might need to add some size to the lineup by the deadline. And at the same time, would we make any changes to the top six? Thinking along the lines of what's here now and maybe what they can acquire, because there's rumors out about that they're looking to make moves, and I would think they are. And so we'll talk about that. There is the Patrik Laine situation, because Patrik Laine is kind of, I don't know exactly when he's coming back, but he is in practice in a regular jersey, which means he can take a hit, I would imagine, right?
Yeah.
If you're in a regular jersey. So I would imagine his return to the lineup is either imminent or he's not in the lineup because they don't know what to do with him, really. So we're going to talk about that. And there was an article I read. Got some stuff from that, so we'll discuss that. I have a poem that I'm going to read that I finally finished. And if we do get, like, if we do have time, if we don't talk too much on any of these topics, we may discuss about the goalie situation in light of last night's, because we're filming this the night after the Boston game. So in light of that, there's a lot of talk about Monty and what Montreal should do. So we may get to that. Let's hope we do. And to do that, I've got my, I got it right the first time. My partner over there, Matt. Say hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt. I'm just kidding.
He does.
What's going on, peeps?
So I'm not going to run the usual intro because that runs too long. And let's just get right into it. Last week, because we filmed on Friday for last week's episode, we have the Ottawa game. We have that was last Saturday. Let's see. Actually, I've got it right here. Let's do this and move to the side. Saturday at Ottawa, it was a 6-5 overtime win. Tuesday versus Minnesota, they won 4-3. Fantastic finish to that game. Thursday versus Buffalo, they lost 4-2. Saturday, which was last night, a loss, 4-3 loss. On the side there, you see what I had for my guess. My guesses, I had a win, a loss, a win, and a win. And I went 1-3 because all of a sudden I've been doing great all year, and then I sucked. So I don't know. What did you have? Do you remember what your picks were?
Yeah, I had the Ottawa. I had what I have. I had the Ottawa game. I had them winning. Minnesota, I had them winning. I actually had them, I think, winning that in overtime.
Doesn't matter.
Buffalo, I think I had an overtime win as well. No. When did I pick this up? Yeah, I think Buffalo I had as either an overtime win or loss. I don't remember. I think it was a win, though. And then Boston I had as a win.
Boston, you had what?
Boston, I picked as a win. So I went 2-2.
So you went 2-2, and I went 1-3. Yeah, that sucks. I mean, and besides the Minnesota game, I mean, okay, Buffalo, they played better than the week before, but still not well enough. And it seems like Buffalo's got our number. So, like, I don't know what's with that. Against Boston, if you guys were, you watch me, I wasn't feeling well last night. I had to leave the stream really early. So I didn't catch all the game. I thought they were going to win that game. And I kind of fell asleep watching it, woke up, and they had lost. And God, they should have won that game. But it wasn't a great week. It was very up and down. They had to really come back from that in that Ottawa game. Ottawa gave us a lot of problems. So yeah, it's a trying week. So anyway, not the best. And that's our results for last week's games. Let's get into. Hang on, let me remove that, and that'll put us back where I don't want us. Let's get into the 3 stars of the week. I've got mine on the cards here, but let's go over yours first.
Yeah, so for my 3 stars of the week, third star, I went with Nick Suzuki. I just think he's been very consistent all season, and he had a bunch of very key assists, especially in the last week or so. My second star, I went with Lane Hudson. Again, I think Lane Hudson's been, easily our best player this season, if not, one of our best, up there with Suzuki.
Overall.
You're thinking Caufield. I think it's, those 3 are the big guys.
Yeah. And overall, I think you're right. Hudson's probably the best player this
season. And then, first star, Cole Caufield. I mean, he's apparently heard what Rick said about him in the last HabNormals. When Rick got a little concerned that he hadn't scored in a while, and now he's got 7 goals, I think, in his last 4 games.
Wouldn't that be awesome if we find out, he heard the podcast and it set him on fire? Wouldn't that be awesome? Not true, but wouldn't that be awesome?
I heard what Rick said, and I took that personally.
Took it personally, God damn it, them HabNormals guys. Yeah.
She hat-trick last night, but he's been on fire, and he's making Bill Guerin look like a dumbass. So
is he ever making? Maybe that's the motivation. Might be. He might have gotten really pumped and motivated from not being selected. So yeah, we could thank Bill Guerin too. You got any honorable mentions?
Yeah. I mean, for me, if I had to pick a couple I didn't really pick them this week, but if I did, Demidov certainly gets one. I thought Demidov's still been very good. He's still picking up assists, racking up points. He's been phenomenal. I really couldn't think of another one. For this past week.
We got one.
For me, I think Demidov deserves to be an honorable mention. He's had still having a great rookie campaign. I think he still leads all rookies in scoring. Just
yeah.
Definitely in assists
because he's still getting he's still putting up points. I don't see how anyone's catching him.
He is, and I think still that second line, and we'll get into later about kind of the top 6, but I still think that second line still looks dangerous on the ice when they're out there together. They look really good against Boston. And he's a big part of that. He's a big play driver.
That Minnesota game, I thought line. I'm pretty sure that's the line 2 was really good.
Line 2 was really, really good. Top line was great too.
Yeah, both. But I mean, line 2. I remember that was a really good game for them. And anyway, I don't remember for the Buffalo game personally. All right, so let's get to mine. Third star this week, I have. I might have to move us to the side again. Lane Hudson, 1 goal, 5 assists, 6 points. Did Lane Hudson things as he always does. And you had him second star, I think. Yeah. I could, it could have been. I had to think about it for my second star. But Lane Hudson, I mean, he's just been consistent. He's just consistently good, and you could say he is, if not the best player so far this year on the team, right there with the tied with maybe Nick Suzuki, So that makes me think of my second star, Nick Suzuki, 1 goal, 6 assists, 7 points. And just, again, just a leader out there, getting, either getting big goals or assisting on big goals. The goal that he got, if I'm correct, that was that sneaky thing. He got the rebound at the side of the net. And
that
was just a beautiful little, just being in the right place at the right time. That's anticipation. Anyway, Nick Suzuki, you can talk about him forever. He's fantastic. Second star. First star, of course. If you're thinking of the 3 stars of the week for the Habs, if you don't have Cole Caufield, 7 goals, 1 assist, 8 points, 1 game winner, 1 overtime game winner, and 2 first stars. I mean, a week that it's crazy how good that week was. So Cole Caufield, well deserving of that first star. And then I have an honorable mention, and oddly enough, it's Ivan Demidov. 3 assists for the 3 points. Not a ton of points, but he was the moves being fighting for the puck. There was one sequence, I don't remember which game, where surprised me how strong he was on the puck or fighting for the puck in the puck battle. So when this kid gets his game fully in place in the NHL, man, he's a superstar, a 100-pointer, I think, on the regular, if you ask me, and got talent au bout, as the French like to say. I think those are my stars. Let's look at before we get into the topics, let's just do a quick look at next week's games. And there's my stuff, so I'll do mine first, I guess. Tuesday, we got Vegas here. Thursday, Colorado is here. And Saturday, we're in Buffalo to finish the season series with Buffalo. I think we beat Vegas. I think we beat Colorado, and I think we lose to Buffalo. Buffalo has our number. I hope we get a pleasant surprise and they beat them, but I'm not going to go into that one confidently. If you watch the Hangouts, I'm probably going to pick Montreal for the game, but this is really what I think. I think they don't win, but I'm usually more positive on game nights. Colorado, they are starting to come back down to earth a little bit, so they're losing a little bit. Philly just beat them. Nashville just beat them. So they're beatable potentially. After this loss to Boston, wasn't the best week overall. And Buffalo, I think they bounce back and they have 2 wins where we might not think they could win, because they do that. They do that.
They do.
They go up against 2 good teams. They go, man, we're not going to beat these guys now, and they do. So I'm hoping for that, and that's it. What do you think?
100%. No, look, I agree. I think Vegas is very beatable. It's a home game. But they have a lot of vulnerabilities on that team. I think the Canadiens can take advantage of that. Colorado, for me, I think is an overtime loss. I think we'll be good enough to get it to overtime. But
I'll take a point.
As good as our 3 guys are going to be when it's Caufield, Suzuki, and Hudson, then you look over, you got McKinnon, Makar, and probably Brock and Marty Necas. Like, that's a crazy amount of talent on the ice. I think Colorado edges it out in overtime. Buffalo, I think, could go one of 2 ways. I think, either they'll win. I think it'll be a close game, though, another close game. Either they'll pull it out again, and getting on my nerves, or, Marty kind of puts his foot down and gets pissed off that they beat us twice in the last week and says, guys, wake the hell up, beat this team, please. They could win, but I think for me, probably another loss. So it's a win, loss is what I'll go with.
All right. Fair enough. But win, loss, and OT and loss. Yeah. I just feel Buffalo's got our number.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what other conclusion you can come to. They start out good against Buffalo, they lose. They start out slow and then pick it up, they lose. It's like, and we beat them the first game of the season, but that was not the same team.
No, not even close.
So yeah, I dare say right now, Buffalo's right now, the way they're playing right now, they're a better team than Montreal right now. Right now, yeah. Yeah. They're putting it together. They've had all those draft picks. I mean, we've been waiting for that to happen with Buffalo.
Yeah.
For the last couple of seasons at least. And it looks like that's what's happening.
100%. Yeah.
So we'll see. There's still 30 games. Montreal still has 30 games. I don't know for them. I think they're 1 behind us. So, but everyone's right around the 30 game mark left. So we'll see. That's still a significant amount of games. A lot.
I think it's important to see how they how they kind of come out of the Olympic break, right? Because that's kind of the thing that I think about a lot. Like, I mean, they're the best team in the league the last month, without a doubt. Just in terms of just the way that they're playing, and winning all these games, but at the same time, you're on this hot streak, but now you get a 2-week break coming up.
Yep.
Do they come out of the gate and keep that momentum up, or do they really cool off? Right? And
all the teams that are on good rolls right now, that 3-week break could be bad, could be good because your guys heal up. It could be bad because the guys that are at the Olympics, somebody gets hurt. They're tired because of the Olympics. So near the end of the season into the playoffs, they could be tired. So it's hard, and we've got what, 4 or 5 now? Veleno's on the Italian team. He just got named to the Italian team. So that gives us 5, I think.
Yeah, so Veleno, Texier, who's on France, Suzuki with Canada, Captain in Finland, and I'm missing, and Slafkovsky, Slovakia.
Yeah, 5 now. So, yeah. Did you see the Italian team before we move on to the topics? Did you see that, the roster?
Yeah.
So it's not as bad as I thought it would be. It's not as bad as I thought it would be, but I don't know that. That's not a winning roster.
No.
It's not a winning roster.
But it's cool for Joe Veleno that he's an Olympian.
Yeah. Still 4th liner.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
He's on the 4th line wing, I think.
I mean, in full health, he's probably a healthy scratch, to be honest. No disrespect to the guy, but you got to think once they get Newhook back, he's going to be the guy that'll get scratched for him.
Yeah, but I mean, Newhook, you're looking at
March. He'd have about a month or so when they get back from the Olympics.
Yeah.
And then it'll be about when Newhook's go, or not even. Newhook St. Patrick's Day around thereabouts is Newhook's projected
around
return, yeah.
After trade deadline, I believe.
Yeah.
He's due back. So I mean, there's still a while to go there for Newhook.
Oh yeah.
And listen, by then, I mean, Newhook will play obviously, but I mean, he's got competition now.
100%.
So anyway, good internal competition is always really, really good. All right, so let us know if you want to make any comments. Let us know in the comment section what you thought about. I mean, what we've been talking about. And we're going to move on to our topics, if I can find them. Hang on a second. Where the hell are the topics? I think I forgot to put them up. Oh, did I put them up here? No. What the hell did I do? Oh, give me a second, and I'm going to put them up. So we're going to talk about Cole Caufield. That's first, but let me go. I don't know what I did, not putting the topics up. I think you know what I did? I forgot to do the topics. That's what I forgot to do. All right. So we don't have them to put up. I'll read them to you. We're going to start with Cole Caufield. Caufield's on pace for 46 goals after the hat trick last night against Boston. He is also top 5 in the league in goals. I don't know who is on the list. I saw a list and I forgot to download it. And then when I went back, I think it was on Facebook. So when I thought, oh shit, I should download that, and you go back, and then it reset and gone. So I don't have it, but I'm not even sure who's on the list anymore. I'm not even sure. Anyway, Caufield's top 5. Can he stay on that pace? And can he stay as a top 5 goal scorer in the league? I think he can. I mean, I think he can. I don't know. I think we were just talking about it, right? That I think Bill Guerin kind of lit a fire under his ass. It seems anyway. Or I mean, he's in one of those streaks of his, because he can be sometimes streaky as a goal scorer. I mean, not sometimes. He can be a streaky goal scorer. So it's one of his streaks. So if that's the case, it depends which one's the case of whether he can keep the pace he's on. But I'll say this. He's had 29 goals, 30 games to go. He needs 11 to hit 40. I kind of think he can get 11 goals in 30 games, even if he's on a bit of a streaky thing, right? I can't see at this point with the 3 goals last night. I think that puts him at hitting 40 goals. Yeah, no,
Yeah, no, I do. I think. I mean, what's he on pace for now?
46.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly. I mean, he's only needs, I think, 11 goals now in 32 games, something like that. So yeah, no, I
11
think he
goals in
definitely
30.
gets. Definitely, I think he gets 40.
Yeah, I think that's kind of secured 40 for him.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And look, I think, again, like offense, and we'll talk about this more, but the offense really hasn't been the problem. They've been scoring goals. It's it's on the other end. So I think
Yeah.
but
But
if
because the offense
again,
has, sorry, continue.
No, I was gonna say, but he keeps his pace up. Again, it just it's great. It's great for the team, and again, he's only 24, so he hits 40 or more. You got to think he's gonna have at least one, maybe a couple of 50-goal seasons. I mean, I think he's certainly capable.
Yeah, and listen, he at 46 goal pace right now because he hit 3 goals right last night. Upped his pace. If he continues to be hot like this, I mean, he's got eight goals in his last 6 games. Maybe 8 goals in 6, 8 goals in 7. I'm not sure how.
Yeah.
Well, he got 3 last night, so it's 8 goals, maybe even in 5. I'm not exactly sure. I think it might be in 5.
It's around there. Yeah.
If he can keep at, and I'm not saying he will, because you'll write in the comments, are you crazy, Rick? If he can keep at an elevated pace to what he's been at by getting more multiple goal games than he has been getting, so if he can increase that a little bit, 50 goals is not out of the question. I don't think he's going to hit 50 goals this year, but I am saying that he's put himself in a position where if he can continue like this, that pace will come up and he can hit 50 goals.
Absolutely,
I don't think so,
100%.
But I think 40 goals. I think we got our next 40 goal scorer right here this year. 11 goals in the next 30 games. I don't think that's a hard pace for him to keep at. So as long as he remains healthy, because that's going to be a key. I think Cole Caufield hits 40 goals.
100% agree.
All right, let's move on to this then. Does Montreal need to add size to their lineup by the deadline? I would imagine by the deadline. Do they need to add size? And at the same time, would you make any changes to the top 6? Okay? I can. You want to lead off? I can lead off.
Yeah,
I don't care.
So, look, it's never a bad idea to add size. Never. In this league, this day and age, I do think maybe they could add another big body. I mean, there is certainly some size there already. You get obviously Josh Anderson, some of the defenders, but I think, other than that, there's not a lot. There's tough guys, but you talk about the top 6. I think you get Slav at 6'3" or 6'4", whatever he is, and then it kind of drops. But at the same time, like I don't know really what's out there at the moment, and again, like Kirby Dach, you just
Did he get hurt last night again?
He stayed in the game, but yeah, he got in a fight. I think he punched I forget who he fought. Castellic. He fought Castellic. I forget who he fought, but he punched him in the head. I think he probably bruised his hand.
Yeah, because I saw something about that. He was skating off, holding his hand. Someone said he's injured again, but I didn't see anything official that he's injured, so I don't know.
No, I haven't either. He like I said, he finished the game. So, but yeah, I mean, I think obviously on paper there's sides here, but besides Slafkovsky and Anderson, like you can't really count on those. Like again, line A, I just don't think he has a place here anymore.
No,
We'll
I
get
mean,
into
he's
that.
got size, but he doesn't
Kirby
use it.
Doc, you just don't know how long he can stay healthy for. So you can't really count on that size. So I think adding another big forward, I wouldn't say it's a total must, but it's definitely something I think they should definitely look at.
Yeah, I kind of think going into the playoffs is not a
sure.
totally bad thing. I've got something here that I tried to. I had it for the game last night, but I wasn't feeling well, and I didn't read it all. This is from Kent Hughes about this exact topic. I'll read what he said. Can our brand of hockey sustain it? That's playing against heavier teams, which are bigger teams. Of course, he says. We're going to learn more about our team. How much more pushback do we have 12 months later if we're able to continue to remain in a playoff position and we get in the playoffs? We can all say Washington did whatever they did to us last year in the playoffs, but they went to play a team that I suspect, although I haven't checked, that are smaller and lighter than us in Carolina, and they got bounced in 6 games, who then got bounced in 5 games by Florida. So teams match up differently against different teams, but I wouldn't look at Carolina and think that they're a bigger team than we are. They have a real identity as to how they play. Our identity is evolving. It was kind of a little confusing, but he's saying that, teams match up differently, and you may be smaller doesn't mean you can't win against a bigger team.
100%.
So, but it wasn't, he didn't say anything about whether they're going to add size or not. So that doesn't really answer the question about it, but that's how that is the truth, right? You're not losing to a team necessarily because they're a little bit bigger, because other teams have beaten them that aren't as big as them, not
Correct.
just you. So I don't know if that's a good argument, but saying that, I kind of do think they're looking to add a little bit more size. I don't know about the top 6 though. So I don't know if there's going to be too many changes to the top 6, but I'll get to that in a second. I kind of think the size they're looking to add would come from the bottom 6 more than the top 6. But I got to think that they're looking to do that. Although I say that, I saw today there's a rumor. Now it's only a rumor, so doesn't mean it's true, that the Habs are interested in Nazem Kadri. And he's not the biggest guy, so there's no size there. He might be 6 feet. That's it. To me, that's not size, really.
No.
It's
not bad. Like, he's not small by any means, but he's
not small. No, he's not 5'9", but he's, I don't see Kadri as being a big player. But apparently, rumor that they're in. I don't think that's a true rumor though. So I think going into the playoffs, so at the deadline, adding some extra bodies, not a bad thing. So I kind of think they're looking for players. Rumors are again about the second line center or a center. I would think anybody that they do trade for isn't going to be a small player in the terms of 5'10" or less. Right. Kind of think we're going to see guys that do have enough size going into the playoffs. We've got enough small players. I don't know that you want to bring in more, right? There's enough guys that are small. I don't think you want to bring in more. So, yeah. Will they add size? I don't know for sure. But I got to think that the potential is, I do think they'll add bodies. I just don't know when. I kind of think that Montreal will only add after the Olympics and they won't add before. I think they're going to do an evaluation and then, meeting and then decide what they're looking for and then try to acquire that. So I don't think we'll see too much until after the Olympics. So changes to the top 6. The only place I could see them making a change is on the wing on the first line, but Texier is doing a pretty good job. So
yeah, I mean, I don't think, because the other tough part though is, like, for me, I think Newhook would slot on that other wing spot on the top line when he gets back.
Not for me.
Well, where are you going to put? I can't put him in the bottom 6 in good faith. He's not. He's a better player than that. And you can't break up line 2. That's the only spot for me where he can play.
But
he's not a regular. He's not a regular first line guy.
I get that. But the problem for me with Newhook is only that he's not big enough. Because he's already got Caufield on that line. Suzuki's only 5'11", so he's not a big guy. And I don't think he fills the role of the guy that's going in the corner to dig out the puck. That's what you need there.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So I think putting Newhook there, it's not where I'd go.
But it's tough, right? Because Newhook's a guy that you also like. I don't think he should be playing third line minutes. He should be playing more than that.
No, so maybe that's a time that you go back to Slap on the first line and Newhook on that wing.
You could do that, yeah. I mean, I don't think that would hurt.
At least try that, and because there was chemistry between those three guys.
100%, right? And Newhook's biggest assets is speed. So again, I think that's granted. Obviously, you won't have the size of Slap on that second line, but they'll be even quicker now. You know what I mean? And again, that's a huge advantage when you have guys. Yeah. A guy like Demidov on that other wing who's that quick and can handle the puck that quick. So I think that could very well end up being the case. Yeah, I think that would be. I'd be okay with that. I think that'd be fine.
But that's when Newhook comes back. I mean, Newhook's not coming back till March. So let's move into the next topic quickly. What do we do when Laine comes back? Not putting Laine on the first line. Laine does not.
I think it's going to be hard for him to get regular. I think he's going to end up just being a healthy scratch most nights. You might get him in every now and then to keep him warm, but for where they are in the season, he can't play every game. He can't.
Well, okay, but the problem is, I agree with you, but the problem is you probably want to move him at the deadline.
Right. I think best case scenario, they find some sort of move where either they throw him in as just like an add-on piece to get
You're unlikely to move him if he doesn't play, though.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, he can't play every game. They'll put him in, maybe, give him a couple of games and then switch him out with someone because he's too much of a defensive liability for me.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Or
you move him, and if they give you a bag of pucks coming back, it doesn't matter.
No, it really doesn't matter what they end up getting for him anyway if they do move him. Because he's a UFA at the end of the year anyway, and they're playing this well without him.
They're not re-signing him. No. He's UFA, and they're not re-signing him. I don't think that's in question, even if they're signing him or not. So, yeah, what do you do with him? I don't know. I've got some stuff on this. Let's see if we can go through this quickly. Laine's overall fit with the Montreal Canadiens has been underwhelming. Yes, he recorded 20 goals last season in 52 games, which looks respectable on paper, but context matters. A significant portion of that production came on the power play, where Laine's one-timer remains a legitimate weapon. At 5-on-5, however, he was often a non-factor. That's very true. Excuse me. He never truly established himself as a driver of play. His skating, defensive engagement, and consistency away from the puck limited his impact. True. Especially on a young team that values pace, forechecking, and structure. It's not his game. There's not a fit here. Talk about the acquisition. The cost doesn't matter. Canadiens hope Laine could at least be a complementary scorer who tilted the ice offensively. Instead, too many nights went by where he blended into the background, unable to impose himself on the game unless set up perfectly on the man advantage, which is not good enough, right? Mm-hmm. Trade value. If Laine returns before the deadline and shows enough, it shows even a brief scoring touch, a contender might take a chance, particularly if Montreal is willing to retain up to 50%. That's another thing. Montreal will be willing to retain. In my opinion, they'll be willing to retain. In that scenario, expectations would be minimal for return, I would imagine. The Canadiens would likely receive little to no return, and that's fine. I do not have a problem with that.
No, And just before we move on, too, I also want to say, just to kind of give our our fans and just Habs fans in general, kind of just a general view of this too. We basically moved Jordan Harris for Patrik Laine, 3rd round pick, and that 3rd round pick we ended up getting Phil Deneau from. So after all of this,
it was the second
or 2nd round pick. But either way, right? We come out of this basically just trading Jordan Harris for Phil Deneau, which is fine.
It's fine.
That's fine. It's I don't think we would come out of it as losers or anything. But the fact that Kent Hughes was at the end of the day, we know it's not going to work out with Laine, but he was still able to get a good depth center for this team.
Yeah.
From the fruits of that trade, I think is important, and I think it's just important to know in the grand scheme of things that
overall,
at the end of the day, acquiring Laine was extremely low risk, and even though he didn't work out, we still got an important piece on this team from that.
We got a fair return. Yeah, that's a fair return for Harris, So in the end, at least that. And listen, no doubt, Laine helped us get to the playoffs last year, no doubt.
100%.
So, but I mean, there's definitely not a room there. So last thing here, Laine's situation in Montreal feels like it's nearing its conclusion, and it does. Between recurring injuries, an awkward fit, and a lineup that has evolved without him, and they don't need him in the lineup. The Canadiens no longer appear built to accommodate his skill set. What once looked like a low-risk gamble now feels like a short-term experiment nearing its end. So the question, though, is how does it end? That's the thing. I don't know that we could figure that out, but I mean, it ends with them 2 things. They either move him or he walks when the season's done.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what it is, right? And again, I think if he can, I think Kent Hughes is going to try to move him. Again, if anything, just to get a little, a little something, because I think
try.
Behind the scenes, you got to think there's basically a mutual understanding that,
some team,
his time is done here, and knowing Kent Hughes, I'm sure he's going to try his best to try to move Laine to kind of give him a fresh start somewhere. Because we know that's how Kent Hughes treats his players.
Some team will take him. I think there's a team out there that will take him as long as the price is right and you retain.
Yeah, 100%.
They'll take him for maybe even.
Even if they do retain, you're only retaining for literally 3 months, and then money's off the book. So it's it's whatever. Who cares?
Maybe a contending team, even a team that thinks they have a chance, need a little scoring, especially on the power play, might reach out for him. It's also low risk. It's not going to cost much for you, and it might work out, might not. And there's no term. 100%. So I think they'll find a team to move him to. The problem is, in my mind, is where do you play him? Because you're going to have to play him a little bit. And in what kind of games are you playing him?
Line, maybe.
Yeah, but the problem also becomes in what games, because every game going forward is important. You don't want to put guys in the lineup that might hurt you. And quite frankly, the last I saw the way Laine was playing, that's going to hurt you.
Without a doubt. I think I want to use the word selective because I think they need to be careful with the games they put him in. Even if he was okay to come back this week, I honestly wouldn't start him in any of the games.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing, right?
If it were up to me, I wouldn't.
I don't know.
I don't know.
To me, he doesn't get into the lineup unless somebody gets injured, and then you need available.
I mean, I don't know.
Healthy scratch until you find something you can do with him. And maybe that's why he hasn't been
not going to make the playoffs. Maybe you put him in against them.
Yeah, exactly.
You can just pull your way out of his problem. That's because I don't think would be in the best interest of the club to play him, especially these 3 games, but any game again, against teams that you got to beat. Yeah, you need to widen that gap.
Pretty much every game, though. That's the thing.
Well, it is. But like I say, play him. I would play him against a team that
you
don't really need to worry too much about. What's the word? More than a line, maybe a line and a couple of players, because you can't play him against a team like Colorado or a team like Buffalo or a team like Vegas that can roll out 2, sometimes 3 lines. You can't, because he's a defensive liability. You got to play him against a team that, okay, maybe they have like one really good line and maybe a player or 2 on the second line. But in that case, you have players good enough to defend that, and line, you can kind of limit the damage that line could do to you.
He may be
with his lack of defensive ability, but like
he may be like actually kind of a healthy scratch right now. They're keeping him on the injured reserve because they don't want to put him in the lineup right now. So maybe that's something that's because that's happening. I don't know. Because
they're not, Ken Hughes, Jeff Gordon, Marty, like they're smart guys. They know they can't play him against teams that they're going to need everybody to, and obviously every game you need everybody to obviously, put forth their best effort,
Yeah.
But what I mean is, like, you can't play him, again, against these good teams coming up where you cannot have anything less than 110%.
Yeah.
Not even one guy.
Yeah. So
you can't play him like that.
I just don't know what they're gonna like. For me, I can't figure it out. Like to figure out with Newhook, to me that was pretty easy. Just make that little switch, see if that works. To me, that was pretty easy
100%.
because there was chemistry there. Newhook was working on the second line. Where was Laine working out in his 5 games? He only played 5 games.
He wasn't. They basically threw him on the 4th line, and
there was nothing. He showed nothing. Nothing.
No,
now, he was a core injury thing, so apparently his skating is better. We'll see. So I guess they got to put him. I don't know. I wouldn't want to have to make the decision where to put him in the lineup. We'll see what Marty puts him in. We'll see when that happens.
Yeah.
All right. This is a time where I ask you viewers something. I need a favor. I would like to start doing a segment on this podcast every week about some older stuff. So I'm asking you guys if there's any older players from the 70s, 80s, or 90s I'm talking about. Don't go too far back because I'm only so old that you might want to know how I felt about them or anything I know, a game or whatever. Send me an email, let me know, and I will talk about it in a podcast and give you my opinion, what I remember, and anything like that. So any players, games, teams from the 70s, 80s, or 90s that you have some interest in and might have some questions for me about, let me know by email or in the comments in any of the podcasts. All right, so there's that. And I am going to read you my latest poem. I wrote this and read it. I'm not sure where I read this. I might have read it in the members only. I don't think I read it on a game. So if you're a member, you might have heard this. If not, so it's about the 8 games left to the Winter Olympics. I started writing this on the first of the 8 games and then didn't finish it, and just things kept me from finishing it, and I finished it yesterday. Or today. I think I finished it yesterday. So I'm going to read it to you now. So some of the games happened. You might not know it from the writing because I wrote it. So just have that in mind. All right. Excuse me. It's called 8 games left till the Olympics. There are some difficult games in the next 2.5 weeks. Imagine a winning streak. Wouldn't that be sweet? Tonight, we've got the Wild, and you may have concerns. In for Texier on line 1, Kirby Dach returns. He's been out a while with a broken bone. If you think he's always hurt, you're not alone. The Wild always beat us. We've no wins in the last 9. I hope tonight is different. I think we're due. It's about time. Buffalo here on Thursday. They beat us just last week. I hope our boys get revenge. I'm sure that's what they'll seek. The Sabres have lost their last 2 to the Wild and the Canes. We have to play aggressively. the bloodlust running through our veins. On Saturday, it's the Bruins. Off to Boston do they go. Last time we destroyed them. Rinse and repeat now, don't you know? It's going to be a rough one. Physicality will rule. We'll also use our skill and speed to skate around them while they drool. Didn't happen. Vegas is in our barn next week. They tie so many games, but they just improved their team after trading with the Flames. No reason why the Habs can't win when they're on a roll. We'll beat the damn Americans on Canadian soil. Next, here comes the Avalanche. We just can't catch a break. We can put Dobish and Evans in and give them lots of Jake. The streak will probably end here. It already did. But you never know. An unexpected win from the Go Habs Go. It's the Sabres again on the 31st, the season series at its end. They're 2 points behind us as I write this, looking like they could contend. They beat us 4-2 the last time, though the Habs did play much better. Tie up the series at 2 apiece. Play for the logo on the sweater. Next, it's off to the home of the Wild. They need to win, so don't play nice. Saying that, don't cause a ruckus. Don't want to piss off ice. Go from hotel to the arena. Make no stops in between. Who knows what the fuck they'll do? It's best not to be seen. Then get the team back to safety. Get away from all the threats. The last game, pre-Olympics, will be played against the Jets. It would be good to win the last game before the Olympic break, ending on a high note, making no mistake. 3 weeks off to heal the wounds. Montreal with 25 games left to play. I wish the Olympians all the best, but in the end, Canada will win the day. Canada, true, north, strong, and free. There you go. All right. How are we going to finish this off now? You want to talk about the goaltending situation? Touch?
Yeah, I mean, we can touch on it. Sure.
All right. So with the loss last night on I from what I saw of the game, I thought Montreal was the better team. I didn't see all the game. I don't even know if I saw half the game in total. But they lost on, you could say, 2 bad goals. And I didn't see them, but I understand the Minton goal was a backhand that should have been stopped.
100. It cannot ever go in.
Right, and that tied up the game, right? So there's that. And then it was a 40-foot, I guess, slap shot that beat him for the power play goal.
Yeah, but it was tipped and it was a rocket. Like, no one even knew where the puck went.
So I don't know. Can you blame? Anyway, so
that one I don't blame on, but the backhand under.
Yeah, the backhand. So this brought up the controversy of Monty and what are they going to do about it? So, I guess we can talk. I've got this stat, and then we'll go from there. That is kind of amazing, and I didn't know it was that bad. It's a little small to see. I'm going to read it to you. Max Lapierre released these stats yesterday. Out of the 25 games where the Habs were ahead with Monty in goal, he wrote he lost 21, but they lost 21 of those games. So they only won 4. Is it all on Monty? I dare say not, but I mean, there's some defense issues there and all that, but
100%.
That's a stat. I mean, you can't hide from that. 21 losses out of 25 games where you were ahead. You know, that's a lot. There's too many there. No matter what, if you want to defend Monty, I love Monty. I'd love to defend him. You can't really there. You can't. I don't know how you do that. I just don't know how you do that. So what's going to happen? Are they going to bring Fowler back? Like, what do you think they're going to do?
I mean, I mean, you got to give it a few more games, but
Do you think they
it's
ride
a tough
Dobish?
situation because again, you can't. How long would you carry the 3 goalies if you bring him back up?
Well, till
Like
the
I don't
break.
think Montembeault, since he's come back since the conditioning stint. Overall, I think he's been a lot better than the beginning of the year. But yeah, there's still times where stuff's goals are going in and they really can't be. Some of that is down to the defense. There have been some blunders, but I think, like I said last night, you can't let that Fraser Minton shot go in. That went in, and the Bruins kind of took momentum and ended up getting that power play goal, and they won the game.
Yeah.
You can't be having that happen. Like, you need a goal like that needs to be stopped. If he stops that, again, who knows what the hell happens, but there is only like 4 minutes left. If he stops that, again, like it was kind of a 50-50 game at that point, but again, the Bruins weren't getting that a lot of chances.
Yeah, no, you
last
stop
night
that.
was the game, overall, 3 periods, I'd have to say probably 80-20 Montreal. 75-25. The Canadiens control most of that game.
So if he stops,
you need to be winning those games, and you can't.
He stops that backhand. You never know. Maybe that power play goal does not happen.
Yeah,
it could change the total outcome of the game. So yeah,
100%.
You got to make, from everything I've read, and again, I didn't see it. I haven't seen the highlight, but everything I've read, consistent. Got to stop that goal. That backhand. It wasn't a hard back. That should have been stopped. Like a young goaltender should have stopped that goalie in junior. You know what I mean? That goal. So, yeah, it's a problem. What do I think they do though? I think with 5 games left to the break, they ride Dobish as much as they can and get to the break, and then they work hard with these guys over the 3 weeks to improve. And they come back and then see where they are there. And then if it doesn't work out and if he's still having problems, you got to call it Fowler. Or
I agree.
Give Kakinen a chance. I mean, they got Kakinen. I mean, maybe that. But I think for the next 5 games, I mean, because it's just 5 games still.
Well, the problem with Kakinen would get would have to get waived to go back down. So that's
so
you can't risk that.
So I kind of think you ride Dobish. As like if Dobish is winning, you just ride him. And if you have to, you go to 1 game maybe for Monty of the 5. Like that's hopefully the plan, and it works out well. And then they got to work hard on because that stint it worked for him. Whatever they did worked.
And I mean, look, it hasn't been.
Do it again
since he's come back. They've been,
Okay, it was good, and he's sputtering a little bit again. So
a little bit, but he's also still making really key important saves. Like it's not the Monty that started the season. He's still better than that Monty.
Yeah,
but there's cracks here and there where you're like,
he needs more work.
Really have that at this point in the season.
It was a 2-game stint. That's all he went on. That's not a lot. Now they got 3 weeks coming up where they can work with him. Work with 100%. Him. Put the work in, and both of them, because listen, Dobish isn't perfect either. So work with both of the goalies hard in the 3-week break is what I would be doing, and hopefully that will do the job, and we'll have adequate goaltending. Because Brian Wild, in that article that I was talking to you about earlier, he made a good point in that right now, just league average goaltending would do the trick.
Yeah, if they have league average goaltending, they're probably first in the Atlantic right now.
Yeah, we're back up in the
amount of goals they score. I mean, look at the games where, maybe we lost in overtime or we lost in regulation, but it was like 6-4 or 7-5. Thing.
Whatever. Average goaltending,
you're winning those hockey games. That's it. How many more wins? 7, 8 more wins, maybe something like that.
Yeah, but you give up 1 less bad goal. If you can give up 1 less bad goal a game, you're going to win more games. And 100%. That's league average goal. If they get that, the save percentage a little higher, yeah. It will make a difference. So right now they have to get that from them, and they're not. So, yeah, I think that's what they do when they come back, play a few games. If it goes back to what it's, you maybe call back up Fowler. I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah, but then you call Fowler up. You only have a week till the trade deadline. So, do you
move Monty? They have to make
that's what I'm saying. Like at that point, if you call him back up,
you make a decision. I don't think it's a good idea to go into the playoffs with 2 rookie goalies.
No, me neither. But you got if say this were to happen and they call Fowler up again, what do you do? Because say you call him back up and you get however many games before the deadline it'll be, and he starts maybe three or four out of, we'll call it 9, whatever. What if he comes up and he wins those games and he looks pretty good? Then what do? You move Dobish and keep Mott? What do you do?
You're thankful that you're not one of the people that have to make the fucking decision. That's all.
No, I don't know. It's a hard decision no matter what you do, but because we're not in rebuild. Rebuild mode's done. That's gone. Done.
Well, we're still somewhat. No, that's not true. We're still a little bit, but most of there's some tweaks to go. But I mean, the guys the rebuild part of the drafting and they're here. Everybody's here. Not everybody is fully developed yet.
Right. And but that's what I meant when I said the rebuild part's done, as in we're not trying, we're trying to make playoffs and win playoff games.
Yeah. So now
that's the mode we're in right now.
Now you need tweaks.
They're absolutely 100%, but we're not building anymore.
We're basically
not. Decisions. We need to win games.
Yeah, we're basically not building. Yeah. They're still developing. There's guys the guys that are in the spots where there's kind of holes now. They're in the organization. They're just not here yet. That's where they're at. So in the meantime, you got to figure out what to do with, Anyway, I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, in the comments, let us know what you think they should do about the goaltending. Let us know.
Yes, please do.
Because I don't know. I definitely don't have. I don't have a clue of what they should do at this point with the goaltending. They have to get better. Anyway, I do think the 3-week break is a kind of a godsend because they're able to work on their games, without as long as Dobish might be playing for the. Is Dobish on the Czech team? No. He didn't make it. Right?
He didn't.
No, he didn't make it. There was when he was playing really well, there was talk about that, but he's not there. So anyway, that's what I think. Let us know in the comment section what you think, and I think that's it. We're done. Don't forget, if you have anything about the 70s, 80s, and 90s Habs you want, I might know, and let me know in the comments or send me an email, and I will talk about it on one of the next pods. And other than that, that's it. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. And we'll be back next week, as always, to do, the same stuff that we do. And hopefully it'll be a good week for Montreal. So we'll have lots to talk about. And hopefully what we have to talk about is not bad news. So let's hope they come back and bounce back a little bit from last week. And, All right. That's it. Till next time, stay safe out there. Peace out, everybody. Have a great week, and go Habs go, and we will see you next week right here on Talking Habs and HabNormals. And that's it. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I'm not feeling well, so I'm kind of delirious. Not that bad, but not that far away. All right, you're going to save me from this, Matt, and say something to stop me from babbling?
I am. I want to thank everyone for watching, for listening. Really appreciate it over here at Talking Habs, HabNormals. I also do want to say, if you like this hat I'm wearing, you look at the link. If you're watching this video down over to our shop over at Fourth Wall, you can get this hat and a lot of other Talking Habs and HabNormal products. So get over there, check that out. And thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time. Go Habs go, baby.
All right, everybody. Ciao, ciao, and have a good one.
Swagger down the street with your till the day I die.